Hey guys, Adam here, and in this video, I'm going to help you become a better digital marketer by showing you some of the most important things you need to know about digital marketing right now. You see, digital marketing has been made to seem way more complicated than it actually is. That's a shame really, because it's actually pretty straightforward. That said, if you do want to get the best results possible from your digital marketing, you're going to need to know and understand the strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you in this episode. So my promise to you is this: if you watch this entire video, you will be a better digital marketer at the end. So let's get to it.
Before I begin, I've categorized and organized these tools into marketing, creating, and productivity. I'll list down all the tools and resources in the description box below, as well as timestamps to help you navigate through this video. Starting with the first tool, have you ever ran out of content ideas or you needed some inspiration in terms of blog titles or YouTube video titles? Well, check out this tool called Title Generator. It will help you generate 700 headlines with one click. So enter your keywords. I've entered yoga mats. Click on Get Headlines. And in just a matter of seconds, you've got 700 headlines, titles, and content ideas. Scrolling down, let's take a look at some of these examples. What is yoga mats and how does it work? 12 questions answered about yoga mats. These titles aren't perfect and may not be suitable for your content piece, but at least this will give you some inspiration.
That's it. So when we're talking about digital marketing, well, we're talking about marketing through the use of channels like SEO or search engine optimization, social media, pay-per-click ads or online Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or anything like that. Not to mention email marketing or website optimization or anything that really takes place online or through the use of digital media. You can contrast this with traditional marketing using traditional media, things like TV or the radio or newspapers or magazines or billboards. Basically, anything not digital. Now here's the deal. Traditional marketing and traditional advertising and everything that goes into it, well, it still works, but there are some significant advantages to using digital marketing and all the digital channels that we now have available. First of all, digital marketing tends to give you a much larger audience size. Really, you can reach anybody that's online, and there's billions and billions of people online. Next is audience targeting, because not only are you able to reach these billions of people, well, you don't want to reach all of them, because all of them are not going to be the perfect fit for your business. Rather, you can be laser focused and selective on only the most ideal and perfect people that you want to target. Digital marketing also tends to be significantly more cost effective than running, say, an ad in the New York Times or, heaven forbid, a Super Bowl commercial. Again, these are designed to appeal to mass markets and to try to reach everyone. Probably not your goal. Rather, what you want to do is be laser focused and selective with your marketing and reach, again, only those people most likely to buy. Digital marketing also allows you to get immediate feedback, and this is probably one of my favorite benefits of the channels. After all, if you think about running, say, a magazine ad where you've got to think of the copy and the creative and what you're going to say, and then you've got to get it all written up and sent to the magazine, it's got to get published and then distributed. Well, you could be looking at weeks at best, months, and maybe many, many months before you ever figure out if this worked or not. Digital marketing, on the other hand, well, in theory, you can write an ad and have it online in a matter of minutes. Immediate feedback, immediate correction, immediate results. Plus, digital marketing tends to be a whole lot easier to measure and to track because everything's digital, which means we've got a digital trail allowing us to measure costs and results and everything in real time, so we can make adjustments and tweaks and optimizations on the fly. Again, contrast that with waiting 3 months for your magazine to come out and figure out if things worked or not. And you can't measure clicks on a magazine, so the best you can hope to do is, well, really either have them fill out some kind of a form on the magazine or visit a digital channel, which ties us back into digital marketing. Anyway, there's obviously some serious advantages here to choosing digital channels, going with digital marketing. But again, that's not to say that traditional marketing doesn't still work. It does. The point here is to take a look at either traditional or digital marketing and then sort of take a few steps back to the strategies and the fundamentals and the principles, the consumer psychology, the buyer behavior, why people do the things they do, and then focus on mastering and learning that. Then you can apply that to digital channels or traditional channels or any other channels that come out in the future. All right, the next thing that'll really help you become a better digital marketer is to understand the differences between strategy and tactics and when to use them. Strategy is all the big picture stuff, and this is really where you want to focus your efforts first and foremost, because this is the foundation that all of your future marketing efforts and tactics and tools and software and things like that are going to be built on. Get this part wrong and nothing else matters, because nothing else will work.
Have you ever wanted to test between whether design A is better than design B? Well, now you can do it using PickFu. For example, I ran this poll not too long ago. I wanted to decide whether to use option A versus option B. So I ran this test, and to my surprise, option B actually got more votes. On top of that, the poll voters actually leave a response. So it's not just, choosing A or B, but they're actually constructive. They're saying, I like teal to pink fade for the background of choice B. I like the darker tone, makes it more professional. So they actually give you useful feedback that you can take on. A little caveat though, PickFu does come at a cost. However, if you do sign up, you get a $50 credit that you can use, which is what I did to run my first poll. So PickFu is great if you want to do some market research and perhaps validate a product idea before you start spending thousands of dollars and spending many hours, on a product that may not even sell.
Now, there are a ton of different strategies and approaches and ways to look at your digital marketing, but pretty much no matter how you look at it, it always comes back to 4 basic and really solid principles that have stood the test of time and are going to be just as relevant today as they are 100 years from now. I call these things the core 4, and they make up the center of my hub and spoke model of marketing. The core 4 are made up of model, market, message, and media. So let's unpack those now. The model is essentially your business, your offer, your package, your servicing, the pricing that goes with it, how you deliver whatever it is that you deliver to the market. It's important here to design your model, design your business around what is the most enjoyable and profitable and in demand by the market. Because the worst thing you can do is build a business that you absolutely hate.
Next up, want to write a compelling landing page that's based on a proven framework? Well, there's this book called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Highly recommend you read this, by the way, but there is a framework, a blueprint that you can download online. It's provided by ClearBrand, again, link in the description box below, but they provide their Story Brand website blueprint. Simply click on download free PDF, enter your details, download the PDF, and then you'll be given this template. It's in PDF format. You've got the logo, you've got the navigation bar, call to action, headline, sub-headline, a call to action again, some benefits of your service, your brand, or your business, then some problems. So as you can see, it's simply fill in the blanks. Rather than starting from scratch, simply download this template, follow it, and then write your copy based on the structure. Another great testing tool is called Headline Analyzer. This is a tool provided by coschedule.com. Simply enter the title or the headline that you'd like to use for, let's say, your article, blog post, YouTube video, or whatnot. Once you've entered it, click on Analyze. I've already clicked on Analyze, but now you can see the headline score as well as the SEO score. This will give you an indication as to what things can be improved, optimized, and tweaked. You'll see some suggestions such as increasing the power words, increasing emotional words, uncommon words, and decreasing the common words. Scrolling down, you're given more information and details such as the word count, the character count, and the type of headline this comes under. This is a how-to, and the reading grade. So this headline reads at an 8th to 9th grade reading level. So by using Headline Analyzer, you can go in there, fine-tune your headline, and of course it's not the be-all, end-all, but at least this is something you can start with to improve on your headlines. Moving on, do you want to know some suggestions in terms of what people are searching for on places like Google and YouTube? Well, there's a tool called Keyword Tool. I've entered some keywords, so I've got best yoga mats. Let's say I'm targeting that for my latest blog post. I would enter that and then choose a location and then search. And as you can see, we've got the results already. Keyword Tool will give you some helpful suggestions such as best yoga mats 2021, best yoga mats for hot yoga, best yoga mats for beginners. So this will give you some ideas in terms of what types of articles or videos to create. If you do upgrade, you will get more data such as the search volume, the trend, the cost per click, and the competition. You can also search specific sites such as YouTube, Bing, Amazon, eBay, Play Store, Instagram, and Twitter. So with keyword tool, you can start with a main or seed keyword and then expand from there, finding those smaller niche keywords or longer tail keywords. Next up, another keyword tool that is useful is called Keywords Everywhere. If you search on Google for whatever keyword you want, let's say best yoga mat, again, in this example, you'll see the results, right? If you look here, you'll see extra details and data of this particular result. So the traffic per month, if I hover over, Keywords Everywhere is going to give me these results. So the organic traffic per month for this particular and specific URL, which is 26,800 times. What's more, Keywords Everywhere will provide this sidebar giving you trend data, SEO difficulty, off-page difficulty, related keywords based on your search term, and also what people also search for, and long tail keywords. This is an extremely useful tool. Whenever I go to Google, I can have that extra information that Google doesn't provide otherwise. All right, let's talk about another useful marketing tool, and that is called Hotjar. Hotjar allows you to visualize user behavior. Basically, it's a heat mapping tool. You can see and visualize what people are actually hovering over, what they're clicking on. And in this demo, you can see the heat mapping. With the heat mapping data that Hotjar provides, you can then go in on your website and make those optimizations, such as moving a call to action button that may be too far to the left, so then you can move it to the right. Another feature of Hotjar is that you can actually see a user's journey. So once they land on your page, where do they go after that? Do they click on this link or that link? Do they go to this section or that section? And once you find that out, you can move particular sections or links, things like that, so that you can have a high conversion for your website. This next tool will help you shorten long and perhaps ugly links into shorter and brandable links. That tool is called Rebrandly. I've used this for a couple of years already and really satisfied with what it does. Here's how it works. I'm on the back end of my Rebrandly account. Simply click on new link, enter the destination URL. Let's take this long URL, for example. This is one of my blog articles. Pretty long, right? What you can do is then cloak it. So choose a branded domain. I've already linked up and used my Aurelius.link domain with my Rebrandly account. Or you can simply use the default Rebrandly link, enter a slash tag. In this example, I'm just going to use overcome as the slash tag, create the link. And now instead of this extremely long link, I've got this short link that's branded. And what you can also do is use a QR code and generate that, save it, so that anyone who actually uses and scans that QR code goes to this link. Want to start your own newsletter and build an email subscriber base? Well, I recommend using a tool called ConvertKit. ConvertKit allows you to create landing pages, email sign-up forms, integrate with many other apps, do email marketing, of course, run some automations or create some automation funnels, as well as sending out broadcast messages. The standout of ConvertKit is that you can sign up for free, build up to 1,000 subscribers until you need to actually upgrade. They've got an easier to use landing page builder. So simply choose a template that you like, let's say this one here, and then start editing the landing page, such as the images right here, changing the headline, the call to action, and also the fields of the opt-in form. Once you're done, you've got a landing page ready to collect email subscribers. Next up, want to get alerts of any mentions of your brand or business? Well, there's a tool called Mention. You may be thinking, is this the same as Google Alerts? Well, it's not, because it can track and monitor over 1 billion sources across the web, from press releases, review sites, forums, and blogs. The backend of Mention looks like this, kind of looks like an email inbox. I've added a new alert for anyone that mentions Aurelius Chen or my brand name. And you can see it found this one right here, which was a reply to a recent tweet of mine. By using Mention, you can consolidate all these alerts of brand mentions and things like that in one location. All right, onto some tools for creating. The first tool I want to mention is called Kamua. It will let you resize your videos into other formats for different social media platforms. Here's how Kamua works. It not only resizes your video, but it actually focuses in on that subject so that it only crops that area. The backend looks like this. By going to crop settings, you can select portrait or square. Now, if you have a lot of movement and you want to make sure you crop only the subject, then you want to enable auto crop. What you do then is set the focal point. So set it, choose the actual area that you want to focus on, save the focal point. And once you're done, click on draft render, preview it, see if you like it. And if you are happy with it, click on download. what I can do now is upload it as a YouTube Shorts, a TikTok video, or even an Instagram Reel. Next up, want to present and record at the same time and have that little bubble or circle face cam at the corner of the screen. Well, check out Loom. It'll allow you to do that. As you can see in this demonstration, we've got her on the corner, and you can do things like annotate. You can sign up for free, but you can create up to 5 minutes per video. Let's move on to some graphic tools. The first is called InPaint. Have you ever wanted to remove particular objects on a photo? Well, that's what InPaint is for. It's free to use. You don't need to install anything. Here's how it works. Get your photo ready, drag and drop it. Now you're in the graphic editor. Let's say you want to erase and remove this umbrella with the 2 people here. So I'll zoom in so that you can see closer. To start erasing, you want to use the markup tool. You can also use the lasso tool or the polygonal lasso tool too. I'll stick to the marker tool. And now you simply mark it, highlight it. Once you're done highlighting, click on erase and you'll see the magic happen. Just like that, it's disappeared and no longer exists. Let's zoom out so you can see what it looks like now. So there you go, really easy to use. You can remove any object from any photo of yours. Next up, do you want high quality icons that you can use on your website or even YouTube thumbnails, kind of like what I do? Well, check out Flat Icon. Simply enter a search term. Let's say I want to look for laptop icons. I've searched it, browse through the icons. I love Flat Icon so much that I've upgraded to a paid plan. If you find an icon that you like, simply click it, and then you're given some options in terms of the sizes that you want to save it as. Now, another great icon website is called Lord Icon. Here's what it looks like. What's different about this is that you're given animated icons, and in addition to that, you can actually customize the colors. So let's say you choose this book icon. If you look here, you've got colors. You can select the color that you want. Let's say red, click on apply. Now you've got a red book. So if your brand colors are red, then you can match it with that. You can also adjust the stroke, so the thickness of the lines. As you can see, there's hundreds of icons to choose from, so there's bound to be something to fit your needs. All right, next up, do you want to remove the background from an image or photo? Well, remove.bg is the tool that can do that. Simply have your photo ready. I'm just going to use this one of myself here. And in just a matter of seconds, you'll see that the background will be removed. And there you have it. And from here, simply download it. If you do want a high quality version, you will need to pay for it. You can sign up for a subscription plan or pay as you go. Now, speaking of these graphic and creation tools, I've got to mention a tool that you most likely have heard of, and that is Canva. I've got several tutorials around Canva, so do look in the description box below for those videos. But very briefly, Canva will help you create your ebook covers. You've also got invitations, business card templates, infographic templates, and so much more. Now let's talk about a couple of productivity tools that's not so common and ones that aren't typical. The first tool is called Taskade. If you want to organize your to-dos, your workspaces, your projects, this is a really simple to use app. Think of Taskade as a to-do app, but on steroids, because what you can do is add things like due date, assign, comment, upload a file, embed it, or add a timer to this specific task. What's more, you can view your project in different layouts, such as board view, if you like that visual kind of view, or the Kanban view. You've also got action view, a mind map view like this, and an organization chart view like this. Taskade is free for the most part. However, I do have a coupon, so you can upgrade to the unlimited plan. So you can use all their features, no restrictions. Here's how to do it. Under billing, simply go and click on one of your workspaces, and then click on upgrade. Where it says add promo code, add the coupon code Aurelius. And before I apply it, you can see that what's due in 14 days is $60 per year. So once you apply it, that fee will be waived. So it's all free for life. So go sign up for Taskade to organize all your notes, projects, and to-dos. For this next tool, if you write any piece of content, whether that be articles, Instagram captions or anything, this next tool may be handy. It's called Hemingway. It is similar to Grammarly, however, it's not as advanced. If you go to hemingwayapp.com, you can start writing, right? This is the actual writing editor. If you do want to write without any distractions, click on Write, and now you won't get any of those highlights, but I'll explain more what those highlights mean. But once you are done writing, click on Edit, and then you can see the readability, the grade. So it's grade 6, which is good. Words, and you'll see 2 adverbs, 1 use of passive voice. In a nutshell, the highlights are generated by Hemingway. The yellow highlight indicates that it's quite wordy, so you could shorten this. Anything that's highlighted in red is quite dense and hard to read. Any purple highlights mean that you're using complicated or technical words. Adverbs are highlighted in blue, while green mean that this is worded in passive voice. The Hemingway app also includes a desktop version if you want to pay that one-time fee, so it's available for Mac OS or Windows systems. All right, this final tool is especially for YouTube creators. A popular YouTube creator named Matt D'Avella, who talks about minimalism and productivity, created a plugin for Chrome. It's called Goodbye Metrics. So what it does is it will basically eliminate the metrics, the analytics, the numbers, how many likes on a particular video. Now you might be thinking, what's the whole point of not seeing all your metrics? Well, this is one of the traps that creators fall into. They fall into this comparison syndrome where they're comparing their latest video or the videos that they create amongst the sea of other creators that have posted their videos. And what this can lead to is a lack of motivation, all that hard work and those hours that one is putting into creating a video and not seeing the results that they anticipate. Wherever you are on YouTube, let's take Matt D'Avella's channel, for example. You'll see the number of subscribers he's got, and of course the number of views. By using Goodbye Metrics, if I click here, you'll see that I can enable the extension, and now all those views, or the view count, is gone, and also the subscriber count. This is typically what YouTube Studio will show you: the latest video performance, channel analytics, the latest comments, and other data. You can also disable all these by clicking on the Goodbye Metrics extension and then enabling it. If you don't want to hide all of the metrics, you can individually enable those metrics that you do want. So let's say under YouTube Studio dashboard, it says hide channel analytics block. You can enable that, and now you can see the channel analytics block right here. So by using Goodbye Metrics, you can focus more on creating rather than following the algorithm and feeding what YouTube wants. All right.
Next is the market. These are the people that you're going to serve, and you don't want to say everyone or anyone with money. You want to be focused, laser focused on exactly who is going to get the best results from your product or service, and also the market that you're going to most enjoy serving. In marketing, we call this an ideal customer avatar or an ideal client avatar, and it's made up of demographic details like age, gender, income, occupation, geographic details like what city or state or province or country they live in, and psychographic details like what are their values, their attitudes, and their lifestyles. Next is your message. And here's where you're going to clarify and connect with your ideal target market by speaking directly to them about their pains and their problems and their frustrations, and how your business is uniquely positioned to help solve that for them. Telling stories about previous customers and previous client results is an incredibly effective way to do this, as are getting testimonials directly from them and running case studies proving that you know what you're talking about and have done what you say you're going to do. I think that made sense. The point here is that to craft truly effective messages, well, you've got to understand who your market is and what really makes them up and what makes them do the things they do. So a little bit of market research and having a few chats with your customers never hurts. And the fourth part of the core four, and again, the center of that hub and spoke model of marketing, is all about media. And this is where you're going to go, where you're going to do your marketing, which digital channels you're going to choose. Most businesses do this completely backwards. They start with the media by hearing a great thing about Facebook ads or YouTube marketing, or maybe starting a podcast, and then they just rush in there, forgetting all about the message and the market and the model. So unsurprisingly, well, they're building their business and they're building their marketing on a pretty sketchy foundation. This is why if you go through the steps in the right order, starting with the model, moving on to the market, identifying the message, by the time you get to media, the choices should be evidently clear, like crystal clear. You should know exactly where your ideal target market is present and active online. And this is going to enable you to go there and ignore everything else. The reality is you don't need to do everything. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be the places where your ideal target market are present and active. This is going to save you a ton of time and money and headache and wasted energy by spreading yourself too thin on channels that simply aren't going to deliver results. All right, so that was the strategy, the core four, the high level stuff that goes into making the right decisions. Tactics, on the other hand, are how you're going to execute everything I've just talked about. The tactics are the details and the actionable steps or executable things that you're actually going to go and put into practice. So the strategy being the business model you're using, the market that you're going to go after, the messages you're going to use, and the media choices that you're going to deploy your marketing on, and then the tactics being things like what frequency are you going to post, and what kind of content are you going to post, and what schedule or level of consistency, or how many memes are you going to throw in. A tactical question would be, what's the best time to post on social media? A strategic question would be, which social media platform should we be on? That's the difference. All right, the next thing that you need to know about digital marketing is the difference between organic and paid. So let's start with organic. Organic content and organic digital marketing is essentially anything that you create for free. So anytime that you make a post on Facebook or an Instagram story or a YouTube video or anything like that, and you're not paying money to have it promoted, you're creating organic content. Now, this doesn't mean that it's free content, because odds are good you put time and energy and probably a decent amount of money behind the content that you're creating. But by not paying to promote it, it's still classified as organic content. So if organic marketing is putting out content and not paying to have it promoted, well then paid marketing is the opposite of that. Putting out content and then paying the networks to promote it and distribute it to even more people. Basically, with paid media or paid marketing, paid ads, you're running advertising to whatever message or whatever content that you're putting out there. Now, the big players in this space right now are obviously the kingpins like Facebook ads, and Instagram ads, and YouTube ads, LinkedIn ads, and Google ads, essentially the major networks with ads added to the back of their name. Organic content shows up in the news feeds of people that follow you, whereas with paid marketing and paid media, it shows up in the news feeds and on the phones and on the devices of the people that you choose through targeting. Now, of course, like all marketing strategies, there's pros and cons to both. Organic is free essentially in nature, but it's going to be a little more limited in reach because the way the algorithms work is they kind of favor paid media because they like to make money. Paid media, on the other hand, has the obvious downside of costing money. On the bright side, it allows you to reach a ton of people very quickly. So essentially, the choice between organic and paid comes down to time versus money, but also the rate at which you want to experience results. All right, now let's talk about one of my favorite topics in all of marketing: direct response versus brand awareness. Direct response marketing is, unsurprisingly, direct in its goal to get a response. Man, marketing sure isn't very creative sometimes. Basically, when you do direct response marketing, you're creating an ad or you're creating a piece of content and you're focused on getting an immediate and tangible return, something like a lead or a sale or a phone call or a visit or a sign up or something like that. Direct response marketing would be run a Facebook ad, expect to generate a lead, send out an email, measure the number of conversions, promote a video, track how many people signed up for a free trial. All of these are direct response because you're expecting something ideally immediately and you're going to be able to track and measure it so you can do more of what works and less of what doesn't. Now contrast all of that with brand awareness marketing, which is essentially more focused on longer term and building trust and authority and your brand name in the market. With direct response, we're measuring things like leads and sales and conversions. With brand awareness, we're measuring things like trust and authority and possibly mentions, but a lot harder to quantify and to measure because they're a lot more intangible. The reality is, long term, to build a scalable and sustainable and profitable business, well, you do need a pretty decent mix of both direct response marketing and brand awareness marketing. But you have to be wary of the cardinal sin of marketing. You see, one of the biggest mistakes in all of marketing is running brand awareness marketing campaigns and expecting direct response results. This is a recipe for failure and one of the biggest reasons that many people claim their marketing just isn't working. It's because they're using the wrong tool for the job, like following a recipe to bake a cake and then getting really frustrated when it comes out like muffins or bread, or anything that isn't cake. This is why it's incredibly important that you use the right recipe or strategy for the job. All right, another incredibly important thing you need to know about digital marketing is the difference between search and discovery marketing. When it comes to search versus discovery marketing, the biggest and most important, or keyword if you will, is intent. Basically, what's the intent, or what is the reason that someone's using a specific platform when they log on in the morning, or at noon, or at night? So let's start with search. And here we're talking about platforms like Google and YouTube, and basically any other search engine. When someone logs on to Google, for example, well, they have intent. They're there to find an answer or a solution or a product. They're there to do something or buy something or learn something or take some kind of action. This is where you, as a marketer, want to show up in front of them and basically answer their question or give them the solution to whatever it is that they're looking for. Some strategies here are using SEO, or search engine optimization, as well as Google Ads, which is pay-per-click advertising. Discovery marketing, on the other hand, well, this encompasses brands like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube to a certain extent. Essentially, a user on these platforms may have intent, but they're probably more casually browsing. After all, nobody really shows up in the morning, logs on to Facebook or Instagram with a credit card in hand, looking to buy something. This is why if you're doing search marketing, well, you can afford to be direct. They're looking for something, you have the answer, so you can just give it to them. With discovery marketing, on the other hand, you've got to be a little more creative and a little more entertaining. You've got to get their attention and then keep it and allow them to become interested in what it is that you're selling or promoting. Now, both search marketing and discovery marketing are incredibly important parts to building an overall successful and sustainable business. But just like with direct response marketing and brand awareness marketing, you want to make sure that you're using the right tool for the right job at the right time in the right place. All right, next I've got something very important to share with you, and it's something that rarely gets talked about when it comes to marketing advice, and that is the difference between marketing products and marketing services. Here's the deal. Most of the marketing information out there, whether we're talking about textbooks or courses or even trainings, they revolve around the marketing of products. A product being something tangible that you can hold, that you can see, that you can touch, and that you can taste. A service, on the other hand, is intangible. You can't hold it, you can't touch it, you can't see it, you can't taste it. Plus, with services, you often need to pay in advance, which requires a whole new level of trust. This is why, if you're marketing a service-based business and you try to market it like a product-based business, well, you're gonna be very disappointed. Now, when it comes to marketing products, you have the opportunity and the advantage of being able to explain and to show and to demonstrate how a product works, what it looks like. You want to show it in action, show the features, show the benefits that the features will deliver, show the story behind it, everything like that. Here's an example. Let's say that I'm trying to promote and sell this pen. Well, the fact that this pen has a lid is a feature. The fact that it will prevent me from getting ink all over myself, that's a benefit. But you can take it further, and you probably should. For example, this pen lid also has a clip, which means that I can attach it to my papers, or my notebook, or even my clothes if I'm trying to sport that nerdy look. Another feature of the pen lid itself is the fact that the lid has holes in the top. Maybe surprised to hear that the reason that pen lids have holes in the top is to prevent suffocation in case they accidentally or purposely get swallowed. After all, chewing on pen lids is an age-old, albeit highly unsanitary practice. Sometimes you just get hungry. Services, on the other hand, well, they don't have that advantage. So the main thing when you're promoting and marketing services is you want to sell the end, essentially the end state or the benefits or the outcome or the results that someone will experience after working with you. In fact, when it comes to marketing services, I'd go so far as to say it's pretty much all about the end state and the benefits and the outcomes and the results someone will experience. The key here is to highlight the current pain or dissatisfaction or discomfort of their current state, and then of course, paint the picture of how they'll be so much better after having worked with you. All right, the next thing you really need to be aware of if you want to become a true expert in digital marketing is to understand the differences between B2B and B2C marketing. B2B stands for business to business, and this is where your main customers, your main clients aren't regular everyday people, but rather other businesses. B2C, on the other hand, means you're a business that sells to consumers, regular everyday people, and not businesses. B2B, business to business, B2C, business to consumer. And just like everything I've shared with you so far, there's some significant differences in the way that you want to market your business, market your service, market your product, market whatever, depending on whether you're selling to businesses or people. And this is why the next thing you're going to want to do is check out the video I have linked up right here, and I'll see you in the next episode.